Have you ever wondered why some moments from your childhood still haunt you today? Why a simple word, a look, or even a silence can cut deeper than any knife? The truth is, many of us carry wounds we don't even remember. They don't bleed on the outside, but they whisper in the background of our lives. This video is about those silent wounds, the hidden marks left by childhood experiences that never fully heal. Some wounds are obvious: leak, abuse, neglect, or trauma, but many are invisible, like feeling unloved, unseen, or never being enough. And here's the thing, most people don't realize these wounds shape how you see yourself. They shape the way you love, the way you trust, and the way you dream. Even if you don't remember them clearly, they remember you. Let me give you an example. Imagine a little boy named Daniel. Every time he brought home a drawing from school, excited to show his parents, they would smile for a second, then quickly point out the flaws. The lines are crooked. You should have used better colors. You can do better next time. To Daniel, it looked like normal parenting, but deep inside, a silent wound was forming, the wound of never being good enough. Fast forward 20 years. Daniel is now a successful professional, but every time his boss praises him, he can't really believe it. Every compliment feels fake. Every achievement feels small. And when someone criticizes him, even gently, it feels like his whole world is falling apart. Do you see what happened here? The wound never healed. It just grew with him, silently shaping his life. Now imagine Sarah as a little girl. She would run to her mother with excitement, but her mother was always busy, tired, or distracted. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't abusive, but she was absent. Sarah learned something dangerous at a young age, that her feelings don't matter, that her voice doesn't deserve to be heard. As an adult, Sarah struggles in relationships. She avoids speaking up. She tolerates mistreatment. She believes her needs will only annoy people. Again, a silent wound, not visible, not loud, but powerful enough to guide her entire life. And here's the struggle many of us face. We think we left our childhood behind. We believe time healed us, but time does not heal wounds that were never cleaned. What happens instead? They show up in the way we react. They show up in our relationships. They show up in our fears, our anger, our silence. Think about it. Why do some people fear rejection so much? They'd rather never try. Why do others become perfectionists, unable to rest until everything is flawless? Why do some constantly chase love from people who can give it back? The answer is often the same. A childhood wound is running the show. And the hardest part? Most of us don't even know Italiano. We tell ourselves, this is just who I am. But it's not who you are. It's who you became in order to survive. The most painful truth is this. A child does not stop loving their parent. They stop loving themselves. When children feel unloved, unseen, or unsafe, they don't blame their parents. They blame themselves. I must be the problem. I must not be enough. I must be unworthy of love. And those beliefs, they grow roots. They become the silent voice in your head, the critic that never rests, the fear that holds you back, the shadow that follows you everywhere. This is why these wounds never truly heal on their own, because they live inside the very way you see yourself. But here's the hope. What was broken in childhood can still be healed in adulthood. Not by erasing the past, not by pretending it never happened, but by facing it, by recognizing the wound, by saying to yourself, it wasn't my fault. Healing begins when you stop blaming yourself for what you didn't receive. Healing begins when you give yourself the love, patience, and safety you never got. It's not easy. It's not quick, but it is possible. So, the next time you feel an outsized reaction, ask yourself, is this about today, or is this about yesterday? Because many times, it's not the present that's hurting you, it's the past, echoing through your heart. The silent wounds from childhood may never fully vanish, but they can lose their power. They can stop defining you. They can become scars, proof that you survived. And survival is the first step to freedom. Let me tell you about Michael. On the surface, He was successful. He had a career, friends, and everything looked fine. But inside, he was still that little boy, scared, unheard, and chained to invisible memories. Every time someone criticized him, it felt like thunder. Every time someone left him, it felt like abandonment all over again. Michael didn't realize he wasn't reacting to the present. That's the trap of childhood trauma. It locks you in patterns you don't even notice. You think it's just your personality, but it's the echo of the child you once were. The more Michael avoided his pain, the more it controlled him. The wounds you don't face will keep showing up until you do. One day, Michael chose differently. Instead of running from his wounds, he sat with them. He faced the memories, and slowly, he realized, healing is not about fixing the past. It's about freeing the present. The child inside him finally heard the words he needed all along. You were always enough. It wasn't your fault. You deserve love. And for the first time, the chains began to fall. This is the truth about childhood trauma. It does not disappear with age, but it can transform with awareness. The wounds that shaped you do not have to define you. And when you finally face them, you don't just heal the child you were. You free the adult you've become.